appreciate that there are hearings, but there really are places that wanted hearings that didn't get them. I'm sure you've heard this before, but you did say that you thought you'd accommodated, and a lot of people feel like they haven't been. I think we're in a situation right now that actually reflects reality. Since I've been tracking the nuclear waste issue in the late 70s, this is the first time that we've had an acknowledgement that there really is no real confidence, that there is no real justification for the creation of high-level radioactive waste. Irradiated fuel is one of the most dangerous, potentially the most dangerous material that humans have created. And to completely rubber stamp and ignore impacts is, which is what the NRC has done in the past and is doing, is unacceptable, and it's allowing continued poisoning of our planet. The court ruled correctly that that NRC did not justify its waste confidence, which is in a sense allowing more nuclear waste to be created. It withdrew that confidence. It said no more should be created unless you can really guarantee that it can be taken care of, or at least have confidence that the environmental impacts will not be significant. There's no way that we in 2013 can say that we know in 3013 that the enormous amount of long-lasting radioactive waste that's being generated won't have an environmental impact. It simply defies logic, it defies morality, and it's legally, the document is legally inadequate to justify reinstating confidence. The NRC is supposed to show in this process that it will never have an impact for 60, 160, or virtually forever, yet you don't even know the impacts that it's having now. There's not adequate monitoring, there's not adequate understanding of the high burn-up fuel that has, now we're hearing half of the inventory is this high burn-up fuel, fuel with more radioactivity, has to be cooled longer in the pools. It is not an integral part of the analysis that was done, even though it is an integral part of the inventory of fuel that we have and probably will continue to generate. So the high burn-up fuel is not adequately addressed in the environmental impact statement. The impact statement doesn't adequately address the real consequences and impacts on other organisms in addition to humans. It's my understanding that we've looked at whether levels, legal release levels, which are based on the Nuclear Regulatory Commission's own need, the nuclear industry's needs. It's how they base 10 CFR 20 concentrations. That if they can make if you can make a model and a calculation that projects that doses to people will be less than this amount, never verified, never proven, that this is okay for the entire environment, and that's dismissed. So in addition to the dangers of a fuel fire, okay, in addition to the dangers of a fuel fire, which are not adequately addressed, they're simply documented and then dismissed by saying it's low probability, that the radiation effects from routine operations, from routine releases, from routine management of fuel, as well as from the long-term or the more devastating impacts from accidents, are not fully adequately being assessed. And this looks like a rubber stamping saying that there's low impacts, when in fact you don't really know, and more likely there will be. So our conclusion is that the NRC should not proceed with this rulemaking and should not dismiss it should not be giving new licenses. If it's going to proceed with that, it needs to look at these on a site-specific basis.
Okay, thank you.